So next, move to the question Degnis Part B and C. So first of all, what's the requirement for Part B? What's the requirement for Part B? Okay, after the 4th year of operations, okay, because in the first part, in Part A, we know that it's negative NPV for the first 4 years. So here's the one more assumption that's given you to test you whether you understand how to get it. After the 4th year of operation, this company expects to continue to produce and sell 450 units per year for the foreseeable future. Okay, remember, it's foreseeable future. Okay, so here is perpetual. And calculate the effect on the expected net present value of the planned investment of continuing to produce and sell beyond the first 4 years, and comments on the financial acceptability of the planned investment. So here, we know that in the first 4 year, the net present value, okay, if we check the requirement A, what we get is minus, okay, negative NPV, okay, it is minus 137 and 599. So we put here, for the first year, for the first 4 year is negative NPV. And now we given one more assumption is from after the 4th year operation, it perpetually produce 450, and see whether it is acceptable with these additional assumptions put in. So we check for what we did in Part A, and we can continue in Part B. So you can see this is linked together, but don't worry, just in case you show the correct working, so you still get marks. First of all, we know the cash flow or the operating cash flow for producing 450 units is how much? It's 2,802,500, right? Remember, in the 3rd and 4th year, it is producing 450 units. So we got a cash flow, 2,802,500. We also know the tax. Okay. So all these are known. For tax saving, can we enjoy tax saving in a perpetual way? It seems impossible because the depreciation is only last until the 10th year of the asset. Okay, so we need to separate the tax saving benefits in the calculation. So let me show you how to get it done. For Part B, we know the operating cash flow for producing 450 units is 2,802,500. For the tax charge, because it is at the same year, it is 784,700. So without any depreciation, we know the cash flow generated by selling 450 units is 2,017,800. Because it is infinity, so forever. It seems that the cash flow can generate it forever with discount factor at 11%. So use the perpetual formula. Okay, so we got 18,343,636 with this cash flow generated perpetually. And also we got tax savings from the depreciation charge or depreciation allowance. Okay, and for each year we can get the saving is 112,000. Okay, we check the annuity factor table at 11% for how many years? After the fourth year, we can still claim for another 6 years. So we check the annuity factor at 11% for 6 years. We got 4.231. So for this 112,000, times 4.231, we got a tax saving from depreciation charge on a present value at the fourth year terms is $473,872. Okay, don't forget, when we work out these two figures, I call it A and B. When we work out A and B, it's at the fourth year. And not discounted as the present value. So we need to convert the numbers into present value. So for 11%, the discount factor is 0.659. So we sum the A and B times this discount factor. We can get the answer, which is around 12.4 million. Okay, so here is the question or the answer. Because we have the additional net present value about 12.4 million. If we allowed, or if we assume that the machines can be perpetually produce 450 units every year. So is it possible for us to accept? Yes. Okay, financially acceptable. Because when we produce, assuming perpetually, we can see the positive NPV. Okay, 12.4 million minus only 0.1 million. Okay, we are still getting 12.3 million. Positive NPV. So we can invest based on this decision rule. Okay, it's accepted. So Part C. What is Part C required? Okay, it requires to discuss the use of probability analysis in incorporating risk into investment appraisal. So the key point is critically discussed. Critically discuss means saying the disadvantages. Okay, the disadvantages of probability analysis in incorporating risk into investment appraisal. And first of all, we need to understand what does the risk mean. Okay, risk means the range of outcome whose probability of occurrence can be quantified. Okay, so here's the risk definition. Then based on this definition, we need to go into more details about explaining what is the disadvantages of risk analysis. First of all is the disadvantages of risk analysis or the probability analysis here is the assumptions. That investment can be repeated a large number of times. Is it realistic? No, because investments cannot be repeated on a large number of times. If we are in probability analysis, we assume that the investment can be repeated in a large number of times. So it's not realistic. Therefore, because it is not realistic, the conclusion is for expected value. It's an only in an academic way to present, but in reality, expected value will not actually occur. So in the real world, there's no such expected value because investments cannot be repeated in a large number of times. For us, if we are saying probability analysis, it means that using the statistical tools to find out a lot of happenings or a lot of occurrences in the past, so that we have the statistical data to work on the probability analysis. However, this assumption, okay, of, for example, repeated in a large number of times for the investment is not realistic, so the expected value will not actually occur. It's the first disadvantage of probability analysis in incorporating risk. The next one is quite related to the first one, is how the probability of possible outcomes are assessed and calculated. Okay, it's very subjective. It's very subjective. In other words, the way to work on the probabilities of possible outcomes is not scientific. It's very subjective, just based on, for example, some experience or or the people's will. okay, or based on the past experience, okay, may not have any data or solid data to support. So it is also the problem of using probability analysis in incorporating risk into our investment appraisal. So that's it. Okay, so be reminded here the question. Okay, I would like to say sometimes students misunderstand about the requirement because they don't understand what is critically. Critically means saying the disadvantages of this theory. Okay, it's not saying good things, it's saying the disadvantages of it.